It's also some from when he was in the Navy outside. How are you feeling? All right.
Yeah. That seems like a part of that.
My initial
What you got going here, man?
It's John Hooker's retirement.
Are you serious?
Zoom meeting is there. We're gonna do like a roasting.
That is too cool. I mean, are you on meet?
I've been working with Doug for a while, but I have to call him sometimes just to say hello. I always call him the problem. Doug's out this problem. You still answer, so. We're in a different time zone.
My friend. Yeah. Yeah. Back in the mix. Crazy. Really? Started there 2 days after last year. COVID, it's like it's basically like hibernating. This my office is been there for like 10 months since I started. You'll be wonderful. You're working out.
I did the opposite.
I know most people are same kind of group or whatever.
No one said anything, and what about water change?
That's awesome.
Before we start the festivities, I'd just like to thank everybody for coming. I had to make a speech during the ceremony, so I'm not going to make one here.
Thanks for the food.
Yeah, plenty of food if you want any more. So again, thank you. This means the world to me to see all of you here. Hope you didn't get too wet getting inside. Could not control the weather. Try to take care of everything else. I'm going to turn it over to Dave and Eileen now, who've done a great job organizing.
All right, can everybody hear us? Can everybody see us? Thanks, Bailey. Okay, so everybody ate, and we're going to do some fun stuff up here. We'll introduce ourselves. My name is Dave DeProspero. I'm the Deputy Program Manager of SecureView, now that Eileen Goodell has moved up to replace John as Program Manager. So let's give Eileen a round of applause. So the first thing we want to do tonight is present John with a few gifts. I know a lot of people have brought stuff. We have some SecureView and AFRL specific gifts that we want to present to John. So John's going to sit up here as you all stare at him and open up some gifts. Vanna.
I like your shirt there. Okay, that's a good shirt. By the way, I take a picture of that. I have a friend from college that like that. Oops. Hey, Dave, give him the microphone. He said he didn't want it. Come on. Tease him.
So this is golf log with scoring. There's one problem. There's no eraser on this. Any true golfer would want to correct their scores. Living together after retirement, or there's a spouse in the house. Golf towel. I might get some use of this. Retirement. Golf yesterday, golf today, golf tomorrow. This is so appropriate. I'm retired. It's no longer my problem. It's her problem.
Someone stole government property. John, I'm gonna try to brief you. I remember the first year as the government worker and all the questions I had. Everyone's automatic answer was, he will know, and if he doesn't, nobody will know. And this is why you kept seeing me popping up on Swahili here, John. You have time. Some of the most memorable moments. Seeing you're brave enough to get on that boat and ride it. And without a thought, driving on the road to Australia. I got stuck. You did a great job. And that was a trip to the memory. So there's a over here. But on it, there's a picture of holding the world at a conference. Which kind of reminds me of what you do your camera for the ESP program. For the DoD. It's inspiring to watch this. I'm on the picture to the many challenges we face every day. On a more personal note, I was devastated from the loss of my parents. Your concern and willingness to donate just so much to me that I can't. Just came up to me and said, "Do you need me if I give you it?" I know I didn't say much of the time, but it was so much of it. It was when I realized that not only were you my coworker, but I had joined. So So the team you have built is amazing, hardworking, and willing to go to the world for the program. The only way a team is willing to do that is if they have a great leader who is right there with them. And while I speak for myself and the rest of the security team, saying that you will be sorely missed, the rich legacy that you leave behind for us to carry on, we will do our utmost to continue to achieve. So the workplace will never be the same without you. The jokes, the laughter, chat over coffee, the calls, travel, conference night out. You, the security team, have shared so many fun memories. You'll be missed. Just a reminder, if you have your cell phone number. So we want to make sure you have a lasting memory of us and to take advantage of your well-earned retirement, spend time doing your favorite hobby. So we're presenting this to you.
Don't blame government property. Right. Whose account is that on?
So Ryan made a comment during the ceremony today that I always did things by the book. So I don't know if I can accept this stolen government property. It's gonna make me twitch.
Wide open right now. So, what was I looking at online this morning? Thank you, everybody. Air Force secure view of the program the last 20 years and AFRL tower. I literally was looking at it. Fortunately, I didn't get the fine. Now that I'm in a fixed income, I don't know. There we go. Andrew, you might have to drive or not. How am I gonna work the gas?
Now, for the next one, we're going to invite Eric Todd, who is the program manager of ISI X Arbiter. I will use the microphone. Would like to present John. Small appreciation of ours. Appreciation for John from the ISI Program Management Office for his support over the years. Not only was John lead engineer, and program manager for ISI, but when he transferred to SecureView, there's a lot of synergy, a lot of coordination, a lot of cooperation. Continue to help the evolution of ISI into a fine product arbiter that it is now today. This is what this represents. This is the evolution of ISI, and John is a critical component of that. Without John, it probably wouldn't happen. On it, it says best wishes as you embark on this next chapter of your life, with thanks and gratitude for your service to our country, our organization, and our ISI stakeholders. Very nice picture. Hopefully John appreciates it and hangs it on the wall.
What this picture is there's 5 different logos in here, the different generations of ISI. Tim and Matt, Tim Farrell, Matt Cobian. That's your logo way in the background. The second one is one I developed.
We get you Dixie cups and
Ray was responsible for a couple of these, and then Eric for the final one. So thank you very much.
Across the main, John gets to raise the bar on his golf game. So, good luck, John.
I'm gonna raise this bar.
Thanks, Eric. So I actually have a presentation. Looks like my car warranty has expired. This is a special one for me to present. Back last year, right as soon as COVID hit, it was maybe 3 or 4 days after we all got sent home from work. We were all still trying to figure out what tools were available and what we were going to do. And John called me about 8 p.m. one night, and he said, "You have to get the engineering team together. We have to stop all development on SecureView and pivot everything that we have to a new solution that's going to give classified telework to the displaced senior leaders." So I said, okay, we got the engineering team together the next day. And I said, guys, we do not have a stable version of SecureView right now, but we have to take what we have and we have to deploy it to 1,000 people. And Adam Hovack, who's sitting right over there, wave at him, Adam laughed at me on that meeting. And what we ended up doing over the course of those 2 weeks was just monumental. Thanks to Teresa, or Rita, I'm sorry, thanks to Rita, I'm looking at Teresa. Thanks to Rita, we got an ATO in about 5 days to field a solution called the ADSV, which was ABMS Device One SecureView. We got funded for 1,000 laptops. Tony and team staged, all of the laptops over the course of that spring and summer, and we got them out. We were touted by the highest levels of the DoD for doing something that was basically impossible to do. So fast forward, about 2 or 3 months ago, John said, I got an inquiry about ADSV, can you contact this person? So I did, and it ended up being a representative from the Air Force History Office. And I provided the information she wanted, and she just kept coming back day after day after day for weeks. And she just needed more and more information. So eventually I said, what are you using this for? Is this something cool that we could, advertise? And she said, well, the Air Force has made it very clear that the ADSV solution is of incredible historic significance to the DoD. And we're putting together a piece to add to formal Air Force history. Now that's significant because a lot of people go through their careers and they do great things. But very few people, especially in the government, can actually say that something they did has made history. And what came about was a 35-page document by the Air Force History Office. And of those 35 pages, 3 entire pages are dedicated to ABMS Device One, ADSV, and SecureView. And John has mentioned throughout the footnotes on all of this. So it's really important that you get this, John. This is now officially part of the Air Force history. And you made history. So on top of that, because ADSV was such a huge renowned hit and something that was previously not seen before, what we did is framed the first 6 articles that came out about the effort of SecureView with a note to John, which says, to John C. Woodruff, in recognition of expert leadership of the ADSV classified telework team, and helping to secure a place in Air Force history for creating the first widely deployed program to provide classified access from home. Your efforts during the COVID-19 pandemic provided safe, reliable, and secure continuance of operations for Air Force senior leaders. You have made a difference, and you have made history. Congratulations, and thank you for your tireless work.
It's all because what Ryan taught us. Failure is not an option.
And speaking of Ryan, we're going to invite Ryan up right now. Dr. Ryan Durante, the branch chief of RIEB.
Okay, so one more, bit of a retirement plaque gift, if you will. Now, we only give these to people we really like, and I feel a little odd.
Hold it closer, Ryan.
Because you know, David is largely responsible for a lot of this work, but I'll turn it around so everybody can see it. It is solid wood, engraved, and these stars. Yep, those are actually metal stars that have been machined out, milled, and glued in there. No kidding. And, I'll read it here. John C. Woodruff, in honor of 34 years of faithful and dedicated service to the United States Air Force, the United States Navy, and our great nation. On the occasion of your retirement, your experience, guiding hand, resilience, and common sense approach to program management and achieving mission needs will be sorely missed. All the best in your retirement, men and women of RIEB and the Security Program Management Office. Let's take it this way. They have boats. Submarine, a boat that's safe.
Again, thank you. Wow, this means a lot to me. I think, you know, Ray, Ryan, Dave, Eileen, you know, I don't care about the accolades. I just want to deliver capabilities. So I spent a lot of time, focus, energy trying to do that. Conveyed it to my team because they're the same way. But it is nice to step back and hear these kind of things you all said about me. Eileen talked about her work family. We truly are a family. Very close-knit group within our branch. Tim fostered that sentiment. You know, he was the branch chief. Ryan continued it. Yeah, it's a tremendous group to work with. Really appreciate all the opportunity you gave me. I hope I made the most of it. Appreciate everybody coming tonight. This was supposed to just be fun and not sentimental indeed. I guess you had to go. So, thank you very much.
Everybody has a drink. Can you please raise a glass? It's not too often we have somebody of John's caliber that we can toast and celebrate and send off into retirement healthy and happy. So John, we wish you all the best in your future. Hopefully not a lot of rainy days like today on the golf course. We hope you enjoy it. Cheers.
Cheers.
Okay, so we have toasted John. Now it's time to roast John. No, you're gonna sit right there. How many of you made it to the ceremony today? Okay, it was a nice ceremony. Was this anybody's first government retirement ceremony? Okay, it was my first government retirement ceremony. I thought it was absolutely phenomenal. But I did not know something which Ray actually told me about. There's a lot of hidden meanings in some of the things that are said and some of the things that were said tonight. So I'm actually going to share with you some of these secrets as to what these phrases mean. So if you hear somebody say that John's character is above reproach, it simply means he's just one step ahead of the law. If you hear somebody say that John is active socially, it means he drinks heavily. John excels in the effective application of skills. It means that he makes a darn good cup of coffee. John is internationally known, which translates into John likes to go to conferences on the government dime and trade shows, especially in cool places. When they say that John is well informed, it means that he knows all the office gossip and where all the skeletons are kept, so watch out. If John is tactful in dealing with superiors, it means he knows when to keep his mouth shut. And if John is willing to take calculated risks, that means that he doesn't mind spending the government's money. So we're going to give all of you guys an opportunity to come up and take your good-natured jabs at John, or just to share endearing stories. But I do want to start with a little prepared phrase here. Today, we'd like to thank John for his service to our program and to the United States Air Force. John is someone who does not know the meaning of an impossible task. He does not know the meaning of a lunch break. He does not understand the meaning of the word no, and he willingly pulls the entire team in with him in all of these instances. So we all pitched in and got John a friggin' dictionary so that, Kathy, we hope you and your family benefit from that. I don't know where the dictionary is. It's somewhere. Eileen grabbed it. We'll get you that dictionary. Retirement for John is going to be like coming home one day and telling your wife, honey, I'm home for good. So our sympathy to you and your family. Speaking of retirees, there are a few good hallmarks of a retiree. Specifically, you know you're a retiree when you and your teeth don't sleep together. You try and straighten out the wrinkles in your socks and discover that you aren't wearing any. When it takes 2 tries to get up from the couch, and when your idea of a night out is sitting on the patio. John has also claimed that it is not a sin to play golf on a Sunday, but the way he plays, it's not a sin, it's a crime. He defines golf as a 5-mile walk punctuated with disappointments. This is often evidenced by the use of the term fairway, which he claims is an unfamiliar tract of closely mown grass running directly from tee to the green. His ball can usually be found either immediately to the left or right of it. But, in conclusion, you know what they say about amateur golfers? They never really retire. They just lose the drive.
Whoa. Damn.
I love John. John, before you go to bed each night, now that you're retired, there's something important you have to say. God, grant me the senility to forget the people I never liked anyway, the good fortune to run into the ones I do, and the eyesight to tell the difference. I'd like to bring Ray Galvadia to share some memories. I'm going to steal Matt's stand. Matt, you don't mind, do you?
No, go for it, Ray.
I'm old too, and I can't remember anything. I have to write it all down. We talked about Issy earlier, right? An old notebook here.
Organized guy I've ever met. He was with an
Ray was with the Navy. He used to maintain a to-do list. And he would actually have the last entry on his to-do list that said, update to-do list.
Oh, my God.
That's true. So allow me to continue to roast John here with some background information. Remember, it only takes, for a good story to happen, it only has to be about 10% true. So keep that in mind. So no, when we used to do these roasts, when I was part of the Navy, we were part of the Navy, our boss would give us the entire day to prepare for them. In the Air Force, I had to work a little harder to find a couple minutes to put this together. So let's see, here it goes. So in the beginning, John was born in a log cabin in northern New York State at the end of a famously hard winter on March 18, 1965. Let me skip ahead a little bit. So fast forward 20 years. As some of you know, John worked for the U.S. Navy before working for the U.S. Air Force. He started at the Naval Undersea Warfare Center in London, Connecticut, there for a few years. And then he was a warfare weapons at that time. Warfare, okay. There he supported the Busy One submarine combat system for the Los Angeles class attack submarine. We were able to get a nice little coin to put in your Los Angeles attack submarine, put in your plaque there. At that same time, I was working for Busy One as well, but I was down at headquarters at NAVC in Crystal City, Virginia. In those days, our paths never crossed. We talked about that the other day. I think what was happening is he was doing the real test work that was necessary to make sure the submarine combat system worked well. And I was pushing papers around the office and working for the Navy captain and carrying Deputy PM's bag. So that's sort of how that happened. And then in the early 90s, he took a job with the Naval Undersea Warfare Center in Newport, Rhode Island. But surprisingly, he never worked in Newport, Rhode Island. He took the fast train to Syracuse, New York, sunny Syracuse, to work, as you can see, sunny, to work as part of a Navy on-site team located at the prime contractor, which was GE, then Martin Marietta, then Lockheed Martin. Did I miss any folks carrying? Did I miss anybody?
No, I think you got him.
Okay. And I think that's where he learned his disdain for contractors. Prime contractors, or so. But at that time, he was working for the Busy 2, so the evolution for the submarine combat system that went on the Seawolf class submarine. By that point, he had already been in the Navy for a couple of years, but his pending arrival was already making news in the on-site team, which is where I had already been located for about a year, I think, before he came, maybe half a year.
Hey, Ray, is the way that you're roasting him about his career with the Navy or something?
We'll get there. We'll get there. I can still remember his presence or his coming was known. It was talked about. Drew's last name. Drew had a thick.
Drew James. Yeah.
Different Drew. But he had a thick New England accent, and he said, "Yeah, there's some hot chick coming here to do test." And I don't know, his name is Woodstein or Woodbridge or something like that. So apparently his reputation preceded him. So John arrived, and for some reason, he decided to live in Canastota, New York, of all places. Was it for the schools, Rosa? Maybe not. Was it for the people? What do you think, Alex, Celia? It's for the people? Oh, it's white. I thought it was for the rural environment because he had been brought up in London, Connecticut. He'd been in London, Connecticut for a couple of years. And I don't think he got enough of the manure smell that he'd been used to growing up. So he wanted to get that reminder of his upbringing on the farm. So he and Kathy took an apartment in the village, but the manure smell just wasn't enough there. So they moved farther outside the village, right next to a farm where the farmers spread manure constantly. So, and I think the idea was to keep the family and friends away. And John and Kathy bought the house. It was in really good condition. They insisted on making it a project though. And there's a trend here because their house they're in now, they made another project. And John refinished, you refinished the floors, you went through the house, reverse osmosis filters in the water, new furnace, septic
Really?
system. And they did a lot of the work themselves, but early in the home ownership process, I think they thought, well, gee, maybe getting some help would be good. So he invited the on-site team over. Said, hey, let's do a painting party. I can paint the house quicker if I do a painting party. I think he regrets that though, because we showed up in force, paint cans in hand, brushes. What could go wrong? No beer until you're done. That's right. So at one point, let me see. At one point, there was one gentleman who was very quick in his painting, and I think you put him up on the peaks, and he was done in no time. Got everything done, but you could still see the original coat of paint from there. Another gentleman had a full can of paint that he dumped right into his bushes in his garden. And so let's go on to other things. So we had a joint conference once, getting back to the ISSE secure review stuff. We had a joint conference where we met together, both programs, the ISSE program, the security program. We had it together. The idea was very noble. You're going to save money. We're going to host these conferences together so we can introduce new people to the different programs. And I think it was the one in Reno. So John and I were both up front and we introduced the conference for the week. I walked in wearing a suit and tie, and John walked in with khakis and polo shirt. So we went on. We were definitely a mismatched pair. I think you started with a line like, I think I'm underdressed, and I said, well, gee, I don't think I got the memo. And we went on for about 15, 20 minutes, talking, going back and forth, an unrehearsed, like Abbott and Costello routine to kick off the conference. And the crowd seemed to love it. You had several people, I had several people go after and say, did you rehearse that? And I said, no, it's natural. We were just feeding off of each other. Funny thing, it wasn't planned at all, but we were really getting across to the crowd. In the same way, John and I had an opportunity to educate our AFRL policy people on the needs of the mission program. Policy decided they wanted to host a meeting to educate all the program managers on some of the things that were going on, some of the latest comings and goings, new requirements that were coming down. And I can't recall the specifics, but there was some newfangled bottle that popped up that they wanted us to do. And then they asked for questions at the end. And John and I had plenty of them. Again, in an unrehearsed, totally unplanned fashion, we sort of lit into the policy. We just went back and forth. You know, why is there a new system? Why are you doing it this way? Why does the system duplicate everything in this other system that we also have to use? You understand that it doesn't make sense. You understand that we need to push back and forth on what's going on, and you need to help push back and forth so that we're not doing all this extra stuff. After pushing back a while, John and I had gone back and forth about 15 minutes on that, on why policy had been not pushing these things up the chain and defending us. And there were a couple things that sort of came out of that. I'd like to say that we got through the policy that day and that they went back and changed things, or that policy learned to fight back on these things. But unfortunately, this isn't a fairy tale story. So what I can say is policy never held a meeting like that again. So I guess that's some progress, right? So those are just a couple stories I want to share about John's beginnings and some of the things that we fought.
A lot worse stories.
I figured I'd keep it good. I'm going to turn it back over to Dave with those, and there you go. You're right. Well, as a break from our roasting, we're going to present your evening's entertainment, Matt Cohen. Give him a round of applause. You may not get it after. All right, as we get ready here, so tell me about this reverse osmosis filter. What the hell? Seriously, you did that? All right. So I'm going to get to a song eventually here, but yeah, we're going to move up. Patty thinks we need to be closer to everybody. I'm going to have you open that up in a little bit. All right, let's move close. Can we move closer? Yeah, there we go. Is that better? That changes everything, doesn't it? See over here. Yeah, that's a good point. Ryan, come on. There's still got to be things that we can do here. All right, so I'm a golfer like Woody. There's lots of golfers here. Okay. So we played in a tournament. I think it was at Foxfire in Syracuse back when we were early 30s or something like that, probably. And it was with two good sticks that I don't know if they're from here or yeah. So it was I think we paid a fair amount of money, so it was a pretty good payout in this tournament. And I was playing a fair amount at the time. I was pretty happy with being a little bit of a long ball. I don't know if I had played much with Woody at the time, and so I'll jump right to the end. So we ended up shooting 17 under, which is a pretty good score in a scramble. So there's only one hole that we didn't birdie. I don't remember if we eagled any holes, and I think we won. Did we win? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. But on one of the holes, it was a shorter par 4. I think it was about 320. And like I said, they were all pretty long. I thought that I was too. And I remember I hit a decent drive and I drove the front of the green. I think I hit first. I felt pretty good about that. And all 3 of these guys hit their freaking drives over the green. So he can hit the ball a long ways, right? So those were all of them hit at least 325, 330, which that's not even with the technology that people are using now. So you know, it's that flexibility that a guy named Woody has that's gonna keep him golfing well through the years here. All right, so the next thing here I want to do is a little bit of a takeoff on his name. So this is a little bit of a quiz for the crowd, right? So, what is Buzz Lightyear's best friend in Toy Story? You guys are sharp. Yeah. His nickname is Buzz. Oh my God. So who is the younger bartender in the TV show Cheers? Woody. Good. You're picking up a pattern here. What's a nickname for this kind of a vehicle? Woody. Hey, good. You can kind of see I'm building up this. Damn it! Damn it! I don't know if I should go there or not. This is like that Tom Cruise moment, right? We got Jack Nicholson in the corner. You decide whether you want to do it or not. You know what? I actually had more of them planned, but I'm gonna go right there. Right? All right, here it is. So what does Norm Leach get when he hears that Amazon has got some new technology for the cloud? You know what the flyer said? The flyer said that we needed to try and keep it appropriate for families, right? So I tried. It's almost like a little bit
an encouragement, to be honest with you. Okay, so I'm getting to the song. But one of the things that I want to do is I need backup singers for this song, which is basically the whole crowd. All right, so let me tee this up here. This is a song I'm going to do on the ukulele, which actually I got out in Hawaii. Pete LaMonica and I were out there last March, and I remember we're in this classified meeting, and this SCS from PACAF gets up, and he spends literally 10 minutes quizzing the crowd on how we want to greet each other for the rest of the conference. Because this was I think the first week in March, so the COVID thing was starting to happen, and he spent 10 minutes on whether we were going to do the elbow thing or the air fist bump, and I'm like, this is ridiculous. Well, it's going. Nobody was wearing masks at the time, right? But so anyway, so I ended up buying that ukulele up at North Beach when we were there. All right, so that kind of sets the stage a little bit, right? With being up there in Surfer Town. So this is the song that I'm doing kind of a Weird Al Yankovic kind of spin-off on, okay? All right, so you hear the backing track that's going on there, right? All right, so we got, in this part, we got ooh, right? All right, ready? All right, so you got that now. Everybody knows the song. You listen to it all the time. We got people here that sing, right? I need to have you participate in this. I do not have the Beach Boys up here with me, right? So when we do this, rather than inside outside USA, right? It's going to be, work with me here, people. It's going to be high side, low side USA, right? Does that make sense? Right? All right. So that's what you're going to be singing. And when you do the open it up, when we do the other verse there, it's going to be you're either going to be doing ooh or boo. You decide whether there's going to be some things where ooh makes sense. I don't know, whatever. Right? So okay. So this is Woody's retirement song. I'm only doing one song. I was going to do "You Got a Friend in Me," which that makes sense, right? But I've decided that just one song is enough. When Dr. Belk retired, like I was telling Mike Haydick there, Dr. Haydick was there at the ceremony earlier. I did 7 songs for Dr. Belk's retirement party. I remember people looking at me like, "Oh my God, what are you doing?" So I've been learning over the years that 7 is too many. I'm not going to do 7 anymore. Get my cable. Hold on. Tell some jokes when I'm done.
I have so many questions about this. I don't even know what to do here. After all these years, we've just kind of decided to go with it when it comes to math. Oh, and I'm the microphone stand also, right? That's a job duty that I guess I have. Thanks.
Yeah. How many duties do you have here? The technology that's in that setup out there is incredible.
We go big here.
It's better than security.
I'm glad he got his applause in the beginning.
All right, I just learned how to do this song at lunchtime. So I wrote this between 6 and 7 this morning. Right, so we got up at 5, and I got everything set up on the kitchen table, and I wrote this between 6 and 7 hours. Not bad. I'm trying to do it faster, but I decided to do it on the guitar, and it seemed like I was wearing the Woody Hawaiian shirt, and all of that. And I didn't even know he was going to wear that. Who's got a freaking AFRL Hawaiian shirt? It doesn't make sense. It does make sense. If you watch that thing, how many times you got to see him riding the damn mechanical bullet? I mean, how many times did you do that? But I guess it does make sense anyways. Okay, so this is to the tune of Surfing USA. It's called Secure View across the USA, but the Secure View is in brackets, which means they don't actually say Secure View. It's just across the USA. That's the name of the song. If this goes big, that's what we're gonna do. Right? All right, so the first verse has got no backtrack on it, no backup. Okay, so that's when everybody had desktops, right? That kind of thing, right? You don't need to be singing. But then when we go into secures at the code comes and it's high side, low side, USA, right? Okay, all that got it. All right. I'm probably gonna go a little slower than the Beach Boys do because words are important. Joanne helped me a little bit with some of the material, and Scott Thomas did too on some of the places that you've been deployed. I thought it was fascinating. He gives me this list. We work in a research lab. He gives me this list of the Secure View installations, and it's got paid customers, unpaid customers, customers we canceled. Yeah. I gotta remember my course. Can you hear this okay? All right. When everybody had last time. Well, I did 3 feet. I'll get it. All right. When everybody had desktops across the USA. I'll get it. Give me a second. Everybody was just like DIA. Hold on a minute. See, this is why I should have done it on the guitar. There we go. I got it. When everybody else across the USA, when everybody was cussing like DIA. You see them school with cables. I got it. I'll get it. Give me a second here. All right. I will get the key down and it will sound okay. Right? You know what I'm gonna do? I gotta listen to the Beach Boys. If I listen to the Beach Boys song, then I'll get it.
Matt Cohen Hour is sponsored by Not Enough Beer.
Earn it. All right. Here we go.
When everybody had desktops across the USA, when everybody be cussing just like DIA. You see it through with cables and all those monitors too, and crying about expenses. Then would he save the day? The cues at the comes and at AFFC, you safety and FTAC, and our own treasury at CVA Hunter, at DC Jazz in Spain. Everybody's got secure view across the USA. And now what he's doing retirement. This all came too soon. thinking about his golf clubs and leaving us in ruin. We'll all be back at our keyboards and getting back at the pay as Woody swings his driver across the USA. Okay, come on now. High side, low side, USA. Come on, please. FSOC has many, so does PMA 281. And then there's this last year, Pink 80 SVA. He put them all over, even Waimea Bay. That's actually part of the real song. There's no end for secure view across the USA. It all started with your ready and at TNI. It included the shy bricks and that normally side. He spent time at his seat with Ray at his side. Contributions are endless from this Woody guy. Secure views in the Army, even here in our eye. He got awards from headquarters in his Woody style. Keeping people happy and respecting their way. That's why it's all over across the USA. I have 4 more verses, okay? I'm just kidding. You know, it works better with that whole build-up with not getting the tune and the freaking forgetting one of the chords. One of the chords I completely forgot with that. Okay, whatever. So who we got up next? Do I turn it over to somebody or you? Okay, all right. So it was such a joy to work with you. I remember, and we were talking about this earlier. So building 240, which they turned into a Stewart's, right? So the building that we met in. I tried to actually get them to make discount cards for all the 240 people, so we could get 15% off once a month, and they didn't go for it. I mean, really, right? And you know the impact. And I hope that you guys got the sense for this, but the impact that he had on the intelligence community, on the Air Force, on our country. I remember one of the Donus Worldwides. I don't remember if you were at that one. I think it was when we were in Dallas, but that was the only one you didn't go to, right? But that's where we got Bin Laden, and I remember, I think that was. And I remember all of us sitting around the table and knowing that some of our technology, contributed to that in a way. And so, you should feel like job well done, and you really did give of yourself. And one of the things I think the most important line that's probably in this perhaps poorly written song here is keeping people happy and respecting their way, right? And that's the thing that you did, and you did it. You did better than almost anybody that I've seen. So thank you for that, and I will see you on the golf course. And I can't hit it 320 anymore. I'm trying, but I probably won't be able to keep up with you, but we'll see. So, all right, thank you. Yeah, we need a clean copy of that song, and we're going to play that at the start of every conference. Okay. Before we go further, I want to say a couple of thank yous. Matt mentioned our setup over here. The funny thing is, in high school, I was in charge of the video club, the AV club. And now 25 years later, I'm in charge of the video club again. I don't know how that worked out. Horrible life choices somewhere. But first of all, I'd like to thank Wayne Vermilia back there.
I asked Wayne, I said, we need to videotape this event. And Wayne said, why me? I don't know anything about video. In typical Wayne style, his response. So we pulled it off. I also want to thank Rosa, Ray Galvadi's daughter. So Rosa is actually a video production major in college. So she's the only one of us who actually knew what was going on through all this. And Rosa, thank you for laughing at us so many times as we screwed up. We appreciate it. Okay, at this point, I'd like to invite anybody to come up who has a story or a memory or a roast moment to share for John. Not everybody at once, but please come up. Yes. There's a birthday. Whose birthday is it? Tammy? Oh, she's back. Okay, so we got to sing happy birthday to Tammy, Ray's wife. Ready? On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Tammy. Happy birthday to you. How old are you? We won't go there. Happy birthday. Who wants to go first?
All of the conferences that we did over Jerry, for God's sake.
I'll try to make everyone.
Right up to your mouth, Jerry.
I want to give you a picture of my because, of course, everybody in this room knows how able I am as far as putting hardware stuff. At all the conferences and all that we did for all the years that we did it, never had anybody that helped me right down to the little itty bitty details. I don't know how many of you remember when we set up that big screen, 6 screen things. This guy, the only guy who dared help me. Of course, he was, right behind me, whipping me basically. But he was right there because the alignment on it and all that. I want to thank you so much because all the labor that we went through and all those conferences was over the top. People think that the conferences were just an easy job. They were not.
Wasn't fun at all.
And I wanted to thank you for that.
At this time, you could expound upon Intel's latest processor releases and generations if you want to. Oh, never mind. We don't have the place till tomorrow. Okay. Who's next?
Karen, I didn't really prepare anything, but I've been thinking a lot about my history with John. I didn't really prepare a speech or anything, but I've been thinking a lot over the last month or so about my history with John. And I feel like I'm always just a couple of years behind John. And I believe they said today you started at Busy 1 in 1987. I started on Lick 10 and Busy 2 in 1988. As a software engineer, I get my job and they say, we don't have any code for you to write yet. We have to figure out the requirements and what you need to write. I believe it was Jim here that wrote those requirements as well as the rest of the systems group. And even though I had my degree and I knew how to write code, I had to go help write those requirements because they didn't have other people to do it. And then I had to take everybody else's requirements and write them in backstock and have John and his team review them to have us redo it. Because I'm the contractor and John's the government. And he was pretty intimidating, even though at that time, him and his team were, pretty young. And I was young too, but I wasn't up to speed yet on the fact that the government was just people like us. They would intimidate us contractors back then. And John, like the rest of us, would come to work at 8 o'clock if you had to be there, not 8:05. And we would have to wear either a suit and tie or dress clothes and go to the meetings. And John would work all day hard. He'd come and visit Jim and I think there's a few other Navy people here, and tell us, and always, at first it was, somewhat intimidating to us, but we realized that John was just a regular person, and at lunchtime,
would change, and him and 5 or 6 guys every lunch hour would go run around G. Martin Marietta, Lockheed Martin. I think I can name most of those guys. And it was just, and then he'd be back at 1 o'clock and back to work, never missed a beat. And it was, and then for the first few years I was there, those were the government people over there, you know. But then I can remember getting called into Ernie Oliveira's office. I'm all nervous and I'm all scared. And then John and a couple other people come in, and I realized, well, they're just asking me questions, just like I'm a regular person here. And I think they figured out that I was going to tell them what was really going on or whatever, you know, with the code or whatever. And even though I didn't work as close to John at that time, he was always very professional, very nice. Remember when his kids were born, bringing in the baby pictures and all of that, and always so proud and talking about his children. And so I went through my stuff at home, and I found some pictures from the Seagull submarine, which is I probably feel this was one of the best submarines that was ever deployed. And Jerry, there was no cops on it. It wrote all the code, the operating system, the hardware, everything. It was probably one of the best programs that myself and Ray and Jim and several others here worked with in the Navy. Not that I'm not loyal to the Air Force. And then I found what's that in here? Must be in my car, because I had a flat tire and moved everything around. Maybe it's all. But I found a picture of John from those days. But he looks exactly the same. You know, exactly. It's like, I don't know why he doesn't age. It doesn't make sense. But I'll go grab the other picture with John's pictures. But here's some more submarine pictures. And I'm pretty sure if you look close, it's me, you, and Ray on the top of that sub. But it was a wonderful start. And then John moved on to the Air Force, and I stayed. But later on, I followed John to Secure View, and he was tough to work for, but he was fair, and he was good, and he was honest, and it was very enjoyable to work on Secure View with you, John. And then I switched, and I'm part of the Air Force, and you might as well repeat Eileen's speech that she made, because every time I had a question when I started the Air Force, I went to John, and John helped me. When I had problems, you know, with losing my parents, John was there for me. John, I don't really have a roast because that's a but I wanted the opportunity to give the Navy part a stage here. There's quite a few Navy people here, but the Air Force has been just a pleasure, and thanks for all the help you've given me and friendship.
Thank you. All right, so now coming from Zoom, we have Matt Ball at PACAF that wants to say a few words. So let's see if the microphone reaches all the way back here. We're gonna bring Matt up on the screen and see if we can hear him. Matt, can you hear us? We can't hear you, Matt. Hold on. Wayne is using his limited video skills to. Can you call him? Okay, Joanne's gonna call.
No, hold on. He's close. Maybe. Yeah.
Matt, we're gonna call you.
Yeah. I
kept
My number's still the same. So.
Mine is too. I converted my government number.
Oh, I do the same thing.
Awesome. Yeah. All right, Jim. Thanks for everything. Appreciate you getting me started here.
Yeah, it does seem we're gonna.
Don't have off.
Yeah. Yeah, guys, listen. There we go.
First, let me know if I obviously can see you. And it's good that you can't see me. It's fine by me, but can you hear me? What? Cool. Well, I've been watching this and it's been pretty fun to see from afar. Together celebrate your career, Woody. Your leadership, your mentorship, your friendship. The advice you give me throughout my career when I was at obviously got your podcast. It's an honor to share the history with you and the ADHD project. Meeting here 2 minutes, that's why I'm raising my hand virtually to try to jump in, just to say a few words. And for those that don't know me, I used to work at Kimberall. I'm supervisor, John, my program manager. I've had the pleasure to know a lot of you that I've seen in that room there, and the displeasure of knowing a couple of you, Tony. Those years that I worked under you, John, it showed me how to actually be a true leader and goal, completing a project and making sure that everybody just get the job done. And like I said, it's been a pleasure. Your retirement, and when it's when you have 2 or 3 feet of snow out there, it's just time frame. I will think of you when I'm on a golf course out here. So everybody, please lift your drinks up and have a drink. Toast to John at your party, and I will talk to you.
Thank you, Matt. Who else? Ryan? Tony? Anybody else want to say anything to or about John?
So my name is Jim Hunter. I work at the, but more importantly, I know John because we went to school together. So this is a sad day for at least 2 reasons. First reason, losing a good coworker. The second reason, John started a year after he retired before me. So it's a sad day for me that he's going to be enjoying life and I'm going to still be working. The second reason why it's a sad day is when John started working for the government, he was an on-site rep at General Electric. Well, they have these rules that contractors can't buy government employees drinks. So for the past 34 years, I haven't been able to buy him a drink ever. So he's so it's a sad day for me because I'm going to have to start buying drinks. It was fun for me to hear all the stories and all of the what he meant to everyone here. And he has a full friend set who thinks the same of him and wishes him all the time. So enjoy your years and enjoy your time.
Going once? Going twice? It's cake time. All right, so John and his family could jump up and get some cake, and then it could be a free-for-all after that. The cake is being cut, so Thank you guys for participating.
Nice job, Dave. Thanks. You too.
Is it Zoom now or is it phone?
What?
It's got quiet, yeah.
Huh? Oh, no, don't worry. I overheard you guys talking. I was like, it feels sorry. You look good.
Oh, yeah.
Questionable on this one.